Let's talk about vacant property insurance. This has come up a few times lately in a not so fortunate situation where we had cold weather and we ended up with properties that had pipes burst, or in one case we had a situation that actually the home inspector that went into the property, it appears, actively turned off the furnace when they were doing their inspection by turning off the breaker switch and didn't turn it back on, resulting in tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage. So we wanted to do a video just describing this scenario. It's something we never want to have any of you to have to deal with, but there's some simple safeguards that you can do to avoid those situations. So the most common one is, first and foremost, if you have a vacant property, make sure you update your insurance company that it's vacant. You get that confirmation in writing. They're likely going to charge a premium for the fact that it's vacant, and you should also confirm in your insurance policy what frequency they require in your policy to be physically inspecting the property, like in the property. Oftentimes it's every 48 hours or 72 hours, something like that. No different if you're away on vacation and your property's empty. They want to make sure someone's there to catch any issues if they and when they happen sooner than later to minimize damage. So vacant property insurance, make sure you update your insurance company. That's step one. The second step, which is sort of more for our agents, is to make sure that if you have what are the trigger points, right, that these things happen. So if you have no showings for a longer period of time, even if your client has that insurance, and the weather turns dramatically, whether it's winter freeze or a spring thaw or a big rainstorm, those are kind of the most common ones. Water is like usually our biggest enemy as landlords or property owners. And so go to the property, just walk through and go to the basement specifically, go to the upper floor, check all the kind of windows and things like that to make sure there's no water penetration. The other big one is inspection. So like the story I shared in the beginning, it was a very unfortunate one, actually happened to one of our realtors on their own rental property that they were selling. Was able to solve it and get it dealt with before possession happened, with disclosures made and everything else, but we want to avoid that. So they had gone so far as going to the property and checking, but didn't check the breaker box, which you normally wouldn't, but after a property inspection, it's a very good idea on a vacant property, if no one's there to kind of catch issues, go there yourself and do a walkthrough, check the breaker box, again, check the thermostat, you can even check the pilot light on the furnace, especially in the winter, but do the same thing with taps and stuff like that. Oftentimes they may have turned off the water to be testing something, and then they've left the tap on but the water's turned off, and when the water gets turned back on, that tap might be running. So check those kind of things. Water again, heat, those are the most common ones, and then drainage and stuff on the outside of the property. So in winter, making sure to shovel the walks and all that kind of stuff as well. So hopefully that helps you avoid some of those very painful situations. And if you have any questions or you run into these situations, do reach out to us. Your insurance company is your first call always, but we're happy to guide you through the different scenarios on an individual basis. Talk soon.